Dylan, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, no problem. Glad to be here. Glad I could make it.
Heck yeah. Dylan is our resident snake nut. He loves Doc. Doc has a bunch of previews out, maybe even a couple leaks. So we figured there's no one else better to kind of share the hype about Doc.
Yeah,
Dil-
definitely my favorite army. I've enjoyed playing Daughters of Khaine for quite some time. Anybody who knows me, my bright purple or and pink snakes, has probably seen me in the tournament circuit with them.
yeah, for sure. So there's actually been like a shocking amount shared about Doc so far in like the last 2 weeks. I know practically nothing about Doc other than when you bring Morathi and beat my ass with a bunch of snakes. So where do you think we should start, Dylan?
Morathi is actually a good starting point. Um, she's gonna be a lot different. Definitely for the better though. Um, they don't have a wound cap anymore, but they still kind of share their two bodies, one soul ability. So after you've used your Blessings of Khaine 3 or more times, you can bring back either the small Caster Morathi or the Shadow Queen if they're dead.
That's pretty cool, actually. I feel like the wound capping thing was like such a big signature because I remember the first time I went into it was like, okay, you do your 3 wounds and then you focus on something else. But if they can come back, that's kind of cooler. Do you know
Yeah,
how
and
the blood rights work now?
yeah, the Blood Rites are interesting. I think we're looking at something very similar to the Lumineth's runes, um, where you pick one of the abilities after your Blood Rite passive has gone off, and you get different blessings.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I think I'm just finding it here on the Warhammer community site. Yeah, the blood rights. Oh, you perform a blood right for doing a lot of different things. It seems like these are just going to happen a whole bunch. Like
Oh yeah, it definitely.
yeah, like killing an enemy unit, and one of your anointed units are destroyed. Friendly unit contesting an objective you control is destroyed. Yeah, okay, that's that's pretty cool. Also, weird one. A unit friendly or enemy was destroyed next to a place of power. That's kind of thematic. I dig that.
I like it. It also kind of aligns that there's some kind of mix between Kane and Corn, and they have very similar uh, dietism, I guess. Um, so the blessings of Kane also kind of look like the murder chart for Corn.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that right now too, and they seem really strong. I like that you can just kind of pick one of what 8 of these abilities. It's 7 of these different abilities. Add one to hit, add one to wound, add 3 inches of movement.
Yeah.
5 up ward, subtract 1 from hit rolls for shooting attacks. Oh, one of my favorite kind of like tricks in the game, retreat, shoot, and charge. I dig that a
Yes.
lot. That sounds really, really fun.
And it's a big upgrade from the previous Blood Right ability that was like turn one you get +1 to run, turn two you get +1 to charge, turn three you get +1 to hit and wound, and then attacks, which previously was an increase to the ward save. Um, so that was very limiting, and you had to make sure that the game was going to 5 turns to benefit from it in an army that wants to, control the board by turn two or three.
For sure. Yeah, that's really interesting. I feel like the pace of play with Doc is gonna maybe get a little faster than if that's the case.
Quite potentially.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really interesting potential for lists, and things aren't locked to either elf and non-elf stuff. So now the whole army basically works together in unison.
That's cool. I dig that. Another fun article, I think this might have been the first doc article that was released, where they were chatting about the blood hags. Have you had a chance to look at the blood hags?
I have. I'm a little disappointed that their armor save and their wounds isn't bigger. Seeing an armored unit of witches, I was like, oh wow, maybe they'll have like a 3 up or a 4 up. Maybe they're not naked like the other ones. Um,
Yeah.
but they are a 5 up save, which is better than the 6. There's still only one wound, one control.
Mm,
Um, they definitely look like a unit that's gonna make a difference if you're doing Slaughter Queen Cauldron, or what's the other one? The Hag Queen, or the Shrine itself. If they're within any of those shrines, they get +1 anti-charge rend.
that's pretty cool. And this is, I know how all of, I think everybody in the scene is familiar with how books get leaked, but allegedly this is happening, wink wink, based on some rules that are floating around, question mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is all theoretical, hypothetical, from things that I've found floating around on the internet. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
the things that we've seen on uh, Warhammer Community, um, just alone, are already making an impact on the army. I think. Um, Blood Hags. I think the Blood Hags are going to be good. I don't
Hmm.
know if I'll run more than 10, but I think they have their place. They fit.
Yeah. The models are so cool.
Oh, they're
I'm
beautiful
looking at them
sculpts.
right now, and like fully armored, like big, I don't know, pike looking fork things that they're holding. They look super super cool.
Yeah,
I really like them.
they're beautiful models. I'm sad that it's not an addition to. It's more of like filling a hole that was already missing. We're kind of in the same
Mhm.
situation as Fire Slayers, where we don't have a huge model line,
Yeah.
and everything's like a dual kit. Both my snakes are the same kit. My Sisters of Slaughter and my Witch Elves are the same kit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. But I like them. It's good that at least you're getting the tools that you think the army's missing. So that's good. It's good to see Doc kind of in a cool place. I feel like you've kind of seen one or two different kinds of lists that have been run before, and I feel like this will give you more tools to kind of fine tune the way you want to play them. So that's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, Soggy Crethusa kind of took over the meta for Doc for a while there, but I think
Yeah.
this new book's going to open a lot of doors for mixed armies where you see Morathi played a little more.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. Another thing I'm looking at, same article, is actually the Shrine of Dark Tribute.
Oh
Now,
man, the shrine.
correct me, this is like Doc's actual terrain, right?
Yes, we finally got our terrain feature, which I have been desperately for years crying, "Give me my giant blood cauldron," and it does not disappoint.
Yeah, it looks so cool. I feel like the new terrain that's coming out, they're all bangers so far.
Really, honestly, the last few books, I think, going back to even Nighthaunt, the writing has been so much better. Things have been very lore oriented, where the mechanics feature a lot of what the army's identity is.
Mhm.
And Doc did not miss with this. I feel like their rules, their blood rights, their cauldron, everything kind of is exactly what Daughters of Khaine wants to be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. And then just taking a look at the actual battle tome, kind of super in line with what GW's been doing with AoS, picking an infantry unit, making them look badass on the cover. I dig
Yeah.
it. Battleforce looks really cool. They've also been knocking it out of the park with the battle forces recently, I think. Getting Morathi in a battle force with some snakes. Super cool.
Oh, yeah, for somebody who doesn't already have a Daughters of Khaine army, these battle forces are a great starting point. They are huge value.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I feel like I mean, maybe not every list, but every Doc player at the very least wants Morathi and the Shadow Queen. So that's super cool to see. Um, Spearhead, I don't know particularly what these units are, but again, they look super super cool. I think it's what the is this the Blood Rat Cauldron? Yeah, Cauldron of Blood.
Yeah,
Pretty sweet.
the Cauldron's pretty great, and like it's a really versatile kit because you get at base two heroes, Slaughter Queen, the Hag Queen. There's the Avatar of Khaine, which is now rumored to be a manifestation, which is kind
Whoa.
of neat. Um, and then the throne itself, so you can kind of choose which witch you want on top of your shrine
Hmm.
and pick it apart or keep it as together as one piece. So there's a huge versatility. Like I said, a lot of our kits build two or three things. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, this Spearhead Khainite Shadow Coven, um, and the Shadow Stalkers are not to be ignored there. They're probably one of the greatest little tricks in the army, the picking up and moving anywhere outside of 9.
Yeah.
Still a great unit.
Yeah, I mean, in a game where we're just trying to score points and complete tactics, any sort of like teleporting like that is sweet. Um,
Yep. It's good. I think every army's starting to get something like that.
yeah, I dig it. The AOR, maybe I think we could probably skip over unless you feel super strongly about it.
I don't. I
Yeah, fair.
not to be blunt about it, but yeah, it's build your own lists.
Yeah, no, totally fair. I think I saw something super briefly in the Canada AOS chat. Sean seems super hyped about it. It's something infantry spam. So I totally get it. If that's your move, I'm happy for you. I'm sure it's going to be super fun. And then maybe it's just another AOR where Sean comes out and beats us all up with fancy new AOR. So looking forward to that, I
Potentially.
guess.
I'm definitely looking forward to our rematch of witches versus snakes. So
Yes, amazing. And then like I said, Doc and who are they releasing beside Doc and
Sylvaneth.
yes, Doc and Sylvaneth. I feel like we got the kind of announcement that they were next up on the docket, went quiet for a week, and then we just got spam with news. We're already in like pre-order territory.
Yep.
So yeah, just kind of recapping everything new. We're obviously getting the Battle Tome. Um, including the gamers edition. I still have yet to see anybody with the gamers edition. I don't. I get it. I also I like the cards, even though 2 weeks later they're kind of useless. But I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, it's hard to justify purchasing EW paper at this
Yes.
point because the rules change so frequently, and like great, the book unlocks like in the app and there's the code, but aside from that, you're not bringing your books to the tournament. They're too clunky. The
Yeah.
cards are good, like you said, for maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. I will still continue to buy the actual book just because there's some cool lore, some pretty pictures. I'll do that, and then yeah, to unlock it in the app, I guess is a necessary evil.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got the book. We have Blood Hags, the Shrine of Dark Tribute. Oh, this is a fancy looking snake. The Melusai Iron Scale seems pretty cool. That's a really nice model.
Yeah, she's a great hero for the snake list. She's a really cool sculpt too.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, if I'm a big fan of like at least seeing the snakes on the table, and I know you're a big fan of playing the snakes, if there's anything that they can come out with that'll make them, I don't want to say more meta relevant, but like more competitive, more like of a first choice on the table, I am down. The snakes are super cool.
They are definitely my favorite part of that army. I mean, I was a Dark Elf player in Warhammer Fantasy, so like the Witch Elves have a special place in my heart. And don't get me wrong, Witch Spam being viable again was pretty cool,
Yeah.
but these snake models have had my heart since I started
Yeah.
in
Well,
AoS.
and like you said, your pink snakes are kind of iconic. So hopefully they get back on the table. Well, I mean, I know they will be back on the table. You love those snakes.
Yeah, 100% will be back on the table. Yeah, no, everybody's kind of oh fuck Dylan and his terrorgeists, but once Morathi's back on the table and all that pink comes running at you.
Yeah, for sure. I get it. So just going along with more pre-orders, ROR, Crimson Lash. Models look super cool. Um, Spearhead, we talked about the Khainite Shadow Coven. I think that with the Battleforce, that seems like a pretty good, start or intro to the army.
100%.
Yeah, both of those look cool. I think I saw the Battleforce pricing is like 255 or so, which seems in line with other battle forces that have come out. So, uh,
Which, if you think about it, is an incredible deal because Morathi herself is like a $200 model.
oh yeah, that's great then. That
So
is
it's
Value Town.
getting 2 units of snakes and a group of Kinnerai is amazing for that price.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cards and then GW dice, which honestly, like I've never bought GW dice before, but like they kind of slap. They look pretty good.
Yeah, the new ones have definitely been upgraded from how they used to do them. I'd say the Ideneth ones, although I don't have them, looked really good.
Hmm.
I do own the OBR ones that just came out, which are beautiful. And these Daughters of Khaine dice are just exquisite.
Yeah, like a blood red with like black pips. I'm all over that. That's
Yeah.
sweet.
And the Morathi symbol,
Yes. Yeah, that's super cool.
they're going to
But
go nicely with my purple Fist of Khaine dice as well.
oh yeah, you have the Baron ones. Yep.
Yeah.
Slap them together, roll them all. Who cares? That
Oh.
works. But that brings us to all of the GW articles in terms of like rules and what's coming and pre-orders. So I think we're good to leave that there. But Dylan, was there anything else you wanted to talk about with Doc before we head out?
Uh no, I look forward to having them back on the table. So prepare for the snake invasion again.
I love it. Cool. All right. Thanks for joining us, Dylan.
Well, thanks for having me.